mention
Where's he get men's
his
warehouse?
clothing. It's incredible.
Where's he get this stuff?
I mean, he gets it all over. I think he
Really?
spends a lot of time.
That stuff is hard to find.
It is.
I was over at Marshall's. They don't have a thing like that.
Man Ives, we love having him.
We do love him because, you know what? He
Usually
understands the real game,
Yeah.
which is just upgrade, downgrade, this or that. Now, Jonas correctly talks about how much
Jonas
you lose
Morgan
per
Stanley
Red Rivian.
follows obviously the automobiles and comments constantly on EVs.
But he's enjoyable, and he makes a lot of sense. This morning, he talks about, look, the legacy companies are going to have a hard time making these EVs. And that's in part because the choice that they have to make, if they give the workers what they want, is basically, let's cut back on
And the
EVs.
UAW has, GM confirmed, come back with a counter offer.
Yes. So, I mean, I find, whether we talk about writer strikes, whether we talk about Kaiser Permanente, whether there's
Potential very large strike in California.
we have a lot of people who are just making ends meet, and I think that that's left out of the dialogue. Now, why do I say this? I'm not supposed to talk too much about my jury duty, and I can't talk about the case. But when you listen about why people are getting called on a jury, and they ask you what people do, and this is a really pretty good sample. People just try to get by, and you forget. And you forget how lucky we
An
are.
eye-opening moment for you, Jim?
Oh, you forget how
Have
lucky
a little
we
bit
are.
of a moment there?
I did.
Okay.
They asked you about two people you want to have lunch with. Some people don't want to. They don't want to eat alone. But the essence of it is that when you listen, you realize what's out there, which are people who are saying, what, basically, that Campbell's soup is too expensive. I mean, it's real life, not this. What the hell? We are like rarefied. We're so damn lucky.
We are lucky.
That's the way. My takeaway was, I am one lucky individual because
And I'm
people work
glad to
hard
hear
in this
you come to
country.
that recognition late in life.
But that was not the takeaway. But
Can we get back to the 10-year?
yeah,
Can we?
yes, sure.
Okay, good. Because what's it going to take to get stocks moving higher? Is it going to have to be?
We need to see a short covered rally.
Hence, a move up in price of bonds.
Good morning, good morning, good
Because
morning.
it is the highest short position in the history of long treasuries.
How's it going, everyone? For those of you guys
That
joining real quick,
was a moment where there was
I've
excess
just
borrowing.
entered
There was recklessness in
into
the
a
country.
long
We're
position
dealing with
on
Treasury issues,
NASDAQ.
and we're dealing with the Fed selling.
All right, so market has sold
inflation
off
data
tremendously
All right?
But you got
to where
measures
I'm
that
expecting
work
a
right now.
nice reversal. So I'm already long on NASDAQ. My entry is 14,875.75. And I'm looking for a movement at least back up to 14,950.
The man who came up with the term bond vigilante.
Yeah, did he really?
I
Just
believe so. Many years ago.
Billy the Kid, I thought, was a vigilante.
And he says the worries escalating federal budget deficit will create more supply of bonds than demand can meet, requiring higher yields to
Oh,
clear
that's
the
what was
market.
happening.
And that worry has been the bond vigilante's entrance queue, is what your
Okay,
case
keep it
says.
going, baby.
Calls
Yep,
them a
yep, yep,
wild bunch.
We just talked about
Treasury market.
Sam Beckett. Well, I mean, come on. One of his best, right?
Yes.
Then versus Magnificent Seven. The Wild Bunch had a damn way.
All right. Well, if he's right, the wild bunch is in control here.
Okay.
Are we going to head to 5% very quick?
Ed has been a go-to guy for many, many years. He's was bullish during the period we need to be bullish. He correctly points out, and something I've been saying, that these pieces of paper, the 10-year, the 20-year, they were caught in this inversion stuff, where basically everyone said that we're going to have a very
give me
yield
just a
recession.
minute,
That was
y'all.
totally wrong. The bonds were completely wrong. And now we got to get to the point where, because the economy's okay, I have paychecks one tonight, this economy's good, where these pieces of paper cross that
Yeah, but
line.
Jim, the question is, I know you are a little low.
I'm too
in the
low.
share there.
I don't
Yeah.
like it. They
And,
don't have a
we'll try to
phone
fix
book?
it during.
They still make phone books?
No, don't.
What were you saying?
It's a good place for all those notes.
Order filled.
Uncomfortable.
Better than
What I was saying is
Adding to my
Argentina,
position.
that
I'm really, really liking this.
divorced from economic fundamentals. It's got to be something of a scary print.
Yes, it is. And I
Yeah.
agree.
Based on supply and demand on our large deficits funding them and the inability to find buyers at a sufficient interest rate, that's not good.
No, and there's an inability to cut anything. We know that this whole discretionary part of the budget is small. It's the interest that they have to pay and all the entitlements. So you do have this kind of weak, low moment. You know, right?
Yes.
Week low.
Weak low.
Not a week low. A week low.
Weak low.
Yeah, it's a book where you just feel like that there's no way out, no exit, so to speak.
Got it.
And that's what people, but that's the gloom. And against that is the idea that these treasuries have moved.
So I'm also taking long. The sound that you're hearing is me taking also longs on the Forex side. So right now I'm long on 3 accounts on Tradeovate, and I'm long on 1 account on MT4. What's up? What's up? Good morning, Doc Trader. Good morning. Good morning. Did you just add the NQ? Yes. I just got long NQ at 14,876. And I'm looking, my first target to the upside is going to be 14,950. Now, if we do, I'm only going to be risking about 30 points on this trade, because if we do come down below yesterday's low, there's a good chance that we could plummet right through 14,799. Ever use Ninja Trader? Yes. I actually have an account with Apex on Ninja Trader, Rhythmic. So, but the thing that so part of the reason why I went with Tradeovate recently is because Tradeovate, however many accounts I have with them, I can group those accounts on Apex all within the Tradeovate system. Whereas with Ninja Trader, on Ninja Trader, I have to purchase an external copy trading software to be able to trade multiple accounts at the same time. But also, I like Tradeovate setup much better, especially because it has an online function. So there's times where I'm not at my computer and I can't trade my Ninja Trader accounts, right? I have to be in front of my laptop or on my desktop. But I like the setup of Tradeovate 100 times better than Ninja Trader. And Tradeovate, I can trade ZL. Okay, so this right here, I can trade ZL on Tradeovate, whereas on Ninja Trader, excuse me, on Ninja Trader, I'm unable to trade ZL. I can only trade ZW. So Tradeovate offers way more commodities and instruments that I can trade. I can trade LE, which is live cattle. I can trade HE, which is lean hog. I can trade copper, which I can't trade that on Ninja Trader Rhythmic. So reasons, I still have my Rhythmic Ninja Trader account, but I just haven't been showing it some love lately because I just been too busy with Thinkorswim and Tradeovate. In all honesty, I mean, they both have pros and cons. So as of right now, I prefer Tradeovate because it makes it much easier for me to trade multiple accounts at the same time. But the one thing I will say that Ninja Trader has over Tradeovate is the bracket order. All right. So what that means is on Ninja Trader, I have specific parameters whenever I enter a long on the Dow Jones, whenever I enter long or short on ES or NASDAQ. As soon as I enter the trade, whether market or whether I set a limit order, once that limit order is executed, it automatically implements my stop loss and my take profit. Yo, yeah, buddy, what's up, bro? So you can't do that on Tradeovate. Like on Tradeovate, I have to do everything manually. So I can't set bracket orders because even if I was to like enter a position and then I try to put a stop loss, it's actually gonna like close out my position. Whereas on Ninja Trader, I'm able to set up bracket orders where once I enter the trade, or once the trade is executed, it will automatically implement my take profit and my stop loss. But I can forego that and rock with Tradeovate versus Ninja. my opinion. Yeah, buddy, let's go.
Got it. All right, Kate, we'll be checking in with you. Thank you. Kate Rooney, not specific. A few blocks up from here. I don't know how you get a jury to fully understand it, but maybe, Jim, it's maybe you just go with stealing. People recognize stealing. They understand when they see stealing. So.
As a wise man, my jury said to me, they don't pick the names out of a phone. So the people come in, just come in.
Okay, let's go through the list.
Why would they be going in?
See how Tesla's looking this morning.
So, I would not want to be in his shoes, whatever size they are.
I'm gonna create an alert for Tesla at or below 43. When we close that.
I just think that this is one of those cases where
At or below. Voila. If it does come below there, I'll be watching to see if it fills this wick at the 239.40 area, or if it holds 242 for a potential long. Now let's look at Nvidia. Nvidia, beautiful bounce from the lows. Nvidia, let's set up an alert at or below 439.40.
because they're billionaires, so they're smart, which I think is wrong.
Doesn't mean they actually have a clue about it.
But I think that my experience, my actual unfortunately considerable experience in the jury and courtroom situation over time is that there's a
Then I gotta check the news and see why did the market sell off the way it sold off since like 6 in the morning.
The next 6 weeks, in fact, as Kate told me, that case may stretch out that amount of time. Speaking of court cases, after the break, we're going to hit Microsoft's
Not
CFO
so
yet again
much.
taking a stand in the federal antitrust trial against Google.
Take a look at the video on the 4-hour.
15 minutes before we get started trading here at the New York Stock Exchange.
Not bad.
Look at futures. We
A
are
pullback down to
expecting street for you.
440 would be nice on the video. Maybe 435 to scale in to a long for 470. Good morning, charting queen. Good morning. If you guys have any questions in the meantime, feel free to ask. Oh, okay.
Order filled.
So overall, we're still technically bullish because this low hasn't been taken out. Neither has this low. Definitely excited to see what the 930 open does. Mm, mm.
Welcome back. Microsoft CEO Satya
Up
Nadella
already for the
Tuesday
day?
announced
Yes, I am up already for the day. I caught a couple trades last night on ES.
he said, quote, "The distribution advantage Google has today doesn't go away. In spite of my enthusiasm that there is a new angle with AI, I worry a lot that
All right, awesome. Damn, you be killing it. I see you.
more vicious because the defaults get reinforced."
My goal is for.
It is a new chapter when it comes to AI.
All right, all right.
What it's going to enable Microsoft to do with whether it's Bing,
You should actually, like trade one. Um, so for you, Queen, I wouldn't recommend pairing all of your accounts together. I would keep them individually, and one you can trade conservative, another one you could be maybe a little bit moderate, and then you can have one a little bit more on the aggressive side. But I would say if you already have two or three, trade the ones that you're funded, and actually get the payouts, right? There's just something that happens on a psychological level when you get that first payout, because we're no longer touching the money physically, right? And this literally comes off as a game, so there's a certain level of disassociation when it comes to trading, because we're not really touching that money. So I would say, let me see, what's is the max? Well, that depends on what firm you're with. If you're using Apex, the first 3 months on a 100K account, the max you can take out per month is 5K on a 100K account. After after the third month, then you can withdraw however amount you want. Now, what I did is I built a cushion. I only did one withdrawal. I did only one withdrawal a month. I could do two, the beginning of the month and the end of the month. I've been with Apex since February. And essentially, the first 3 months, regardless of what you make in the account, you have a minimum withdrawal. So on a 100K account, it's 2,500. On a 50K account, it's 2,000. So basically $4,000 a month and $5,000 a month for 100K. Now, after the third month, so on the fourth month, you can withdraw however much. So let's say you have a 100K account, and within the next 4 months, you ran that 100K account to 160, right? Including the minimum that you were taking out per month, which was 2,500, right? Or let's say you didn't even take out 2,500. You just took out 2,000, right? So you took out a total of $6,000 in the last 3 months. And then on the fourth month, you have a $60,000 cushion in the account. Now, I don't recommend taking out the entire money, because once you get funded, there's no daily trailing stop loss. There's just a hard stop. And that hard stop, if you have a 100K account, it's $100,000 and $100. On a 50K account, it's $50,100. So if you were to allow the account to go below that, you would lose it. But if you build a nice cushion, and every month you can withdraw 5, 10, 15K, however amount you want, that starts on the fourth month. Okay. And that goes for anyone that is looking to get funded with Apex. Apex, the first 3 months, each account has a minimum amount that you can take out twice per month. At the beginning of the month, between the first and the fifth of the month, you can submit a withdrawal, and then from the 15th to the 20th, you can submit another request for a payout. And for those of the individuals that are based in the U.S., I would highly recommend doing Apex or any funding firm once you get funded as a business versus as an individual. Okay, because as a business, you're going to get a lot more write-offs than you would as an individual. And I love the fact that now, they're no longer using Dell. So whereas before I would receive the funds into Dell, and then from Dell I would transfer it to my external bank. Now they're doing direct deposits for people that are based in the US. So if you reside in the US, you have a US bank account, even if you're a US citizen but you're abroad and you're doing this, you can have the money go directly ACH into your bank account. For those that live abroad, are citizens of other countries outside of the US, you would have to create a WISE account, WISE.com, and then Apex would send the money to that account, and then from that account you can then transfer it to your personal bank account in your home country or country of choice. Good morning, Ronnie. All right, 6 minutes to go. There we go. Let's go, baby. Yes, yes. Run it.
Order filled.
Run it. Let's go. Let's go. I just entered a long on ES at 42.90, 98.50. Run it, baby. I'm looking for at least 43.20 to 43.30 on ES. My stop on ES is going to be the low of the day. Gold. Possibly. I would want to see gold hold above 1837 or 1834. So either 1834 or 1837 is an area where I would like to see gold hold for me to take a long. Otherwise, I'm not touching it, because as I showed yesterday on a higher time frame, gold really looks like it can come all the way down to 1816.4. But this daily candle is looking promising. So let's see if this daily candle can close green. We're heading back up. So keep an eye on that. Let's go back to NQ. Let's go, baby. Do your thing. Yes. Yep, I'm long bias on the market again today. I'm already long. I'm long ES, one contract, 42, 98.50. I'm long NQ. Average cost is 14,869. Ready to get it. On ES, I'm looking for a movement to 43.20 to 43.30. That hits, I'm calling it a day on ES, and I'm just going to rock with some of these other challenge accounts that I'm working on. Just add it to NQ on the Forex side again. Let's go. Oof. Yeah, buddy. Damn, this apple is smacking.
All right, so this is also the key to the market. McCormick recorded this morning. McCormick's a very, very good company. It's a spice company. Brendan Foley, new CEO. Now, David.
On Forex, it depends. It depends on the platform, the broker. Some brokers, it's known as US 100. Other brokers, it's NDX. Other brokers, it's NAS 100.
I think these guys, this is a very, very good company. They've got gross.
Why is the stock down 5%?
Because they did not.
If you're using my prop firm, it's NASDAQ Raw or NAS Raw.
Whether it be Pepsi, whether it be a Kellogg, the cereal kind of ringing bell, whether it be
Yep,
pretty much
NASDAQ Raw if you're using my prop firm.
You're down for just a huge number of days. This group is trading as if the margins are going to be crushed.
Yep,
the
NAS Raw, there we go.
crush it, and the numbers have to be cut aggressive. Because outfits like Costco are pressuring these guys to lower the prices. But the fact that this stock is now back to where it was
Let's go.
tells you that there might be some value.
Okay.
It does have a high
And
multiple.
Order filled.
Then the market doesn't clearly
It does
bring
not.
stock price perhaps higher,
In the old days, the stock would have been up very
playing
big.
off more the fact that
Order filled.
Let's go. Taking some profits on NQ long. Let's go.
We're not going to allow
We start right, baby.
price journeys multiple that are slower.
Let me lock in some profits.
This is an inflationary period.
Get it, baby. Get it.
Are they doing a good job?
Thoughts on gold. I just went over gold. Gold, in my opinion, it needs to hold above 1834 or 1837. If it does not hold above 1834 or 1837, I'm not interested in gold. It still could come back and retest 1830. But on the daily chart, I do like the print of the candle on the daily. Daily is super oversold, so a reversal is coming. It's just going to be a matter of stalking it so you can catch it. But my attention is not on gold, so just watch to see if gold does hold 1834. Let's go. There we go. We popping, baby. We popping. Good morning. Good morning. Tell them talk to me nice, y'all. We here. We here. Come on, baby.
we did talk to Steve Cahalan about that yesterday, who's running Kellanova, which is the larger of the two companies now.
Voila.
That has officially
Steve played Miss You. Let's go.
that is the snack
Ooh,
side of it.
okay,
Pringles
okay,
and
NQ, how you
Pop-Tarts,
feel?
Cheez-Its. And we asked him that, right? Sarah Carl and I asked him that yesterday. He said it's too early to know what, if any, impact there will be from these weight loss drugs in terms of them suppressing people's desire to eat, for example, these kinds of foods.
I think that that's true. And I also think
Order filled.
issues really the downplay we get in terms of sort of
Adding what I took off on NQ.
but I think that's probably not going to be something that knocks it out. What matters is will people take it
The
for
Kellanova, too, guys. Put that one up as well.
will people Kellanova?
Yeah.
Will people take it who are not supposed to take it?
Order filled.
People going to take it for
Let's
vanity
go.
versus for blood
Scout
pressure,
City, baby.
obviously
Let's
for
go.
diabetes, for obesity.
Um,
And then
I'm gonna scale into US 30, aka
it's just like,
Dow Jones.
you know, like, remember
Let's go.
McDonald's before, Patty Doyle got in?
Let's go. Can we get over? Can we get? I just need 4310. I probably should lock in some profits on ES, huh? Nah. I want this bag. Give me.
I thought you just want
Get over.
less.
Get over.
Need as much. And these people, they're, you know,
There we
you're
go.
gonna have a bowl of Frosted Flakes,
There we go.
which tastes great.
There we go.
You're probably gonna eat half of it. Raisin Bran's got a
Tell
lot
them
of sugar.
talk to me nice. Come on. Oh, NQ. Let's go, baby. Can I get 1950? Can I get 950?
Why in the end, maybe some people say
Come on.
most people crave
There we go. You're welcome.
versus, you know,
Yep, you're
looking in
welcome.
the mirror
Yep,
and
indeed.
feeling
That's what we
better about
do.
themselves. I think we
What we
vastly
do.
underestimate how much people don't want junk food.
Let's
Okay, so
go.
now you got me
Give me
confused,
this.
because on
Come
one
on.
hand, you're saying,
I'm about to lock
now
in some profits
you're
on.
saying that these companies could suffer
Lock in some profits on NQ. Come on, baby. Let's go. Damn, nice.
that we don't know. I think that there's a considerable number.
Stop loss to break even on NQ. I am not giving nothing back. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6. So 3,600 on the day already. Let's go. Woo, smoke this.
Last week, I thought that was interesting.
That's what I'm talking about. Savage, listen, man. That's your daily goal. You better downsize, or at least put your stop loss in profits. Do not give nothing back.
Coincidence?
No, it's all real.
3 minutes for 100. Call it a day.
People are just presuming that people who own these
All right.
are dealing with margin contraction. We're dealing with the tyranny of the
We do
table.
not want to get
Now, we have
greedy.
the scourge that makes it so that you don't want food that you historically craved, or you eat half of it because you can't finish it. You can't finish the chocolate bar.
Listen, it is one of the biggest stories, and
Of our
we will
lifetime.
continue to focus on
Because
it.
Come on,
As
baby.
it's not just about Eli Lilly's stock price and Novo Nordisk's stock price. It does have broad ramifications for the healthcare system, for cost, for so many other potential companies.
Come on. Come on, ES.
When people
Play with me.
and on and on.
Right.
I want a nice early day today. I want to be done by 11 o'clock.
Historically, it's going to be some more recent.
Well, I don't know. Oil grinds. I don't know.
Less 30,
Watch
40
oil.
years.
Watch oil.
Watch oil. You're moving on to oil now?
Well, I'm trying a little value added always.
Go ahead,
It's
tell me.
important.
That's what I want.
Oil was down
Holy
nicely this morning, and I said maybe what,
bananas.
2 days in a row. But now oil seems to have stabilized. I'm looking for things that are going
Minutes.
the way
Oh,
of
this is what I'm
right now,
talking about.
It's
Caesar.
sentiment, because sentiment is
Much
entirely
respect.
negative.
Thank you. 900 on NQ. I'm out. That's what I'm talking about. See, I'm glad we're showing some P&Ls right here. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let them know.
Right.
Beautiful. What are you listening to? In the background, I always keep CNBC on. So I listen to CNBC throughout the trading day because they might say something that might, catch my ear to perk up like, oh, this is interesting. And then that might provide me with a trading opportunity or not. But I usually just like to hear what nonsense they're talking about because a lot of times they're behind on certain things.
People should be as negative as that.
But I like to hear what's going on with like certain stocks and just other news and whatever. Like I don't take too much of what they say into too much high regard. Let's go. Come on. Ooh. Dirty, dirty. Yep.
Which have,
Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it, man. You're welcome. Okay, 350. All right, 330 on the day so far. That's what I'm talking about.
One, they have to spend more because of pollution control.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I mean, hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys are spreading the word, man. I hope you guys are really enjoying the calls, the analysis, the education that I'm providing here. And listen, man, don't be a gatekeeper, man. Spread the word, man. If you are enjoying the trade, the service that you're getting here on Tradecasting, man, spread the word, man. Let them know about the futures. Let people know about these funded firms where you no longer have to risk your own money. You know what I mean? I know some people be hating on us for, using funded firms, but come on, it's like,
Do you say it yourself?
again, if you go buy a house, are you personally putting up $500,000 for the houses? No, you get a mortgage, you get a loan from the bank, you put a little down payment down, which is the same equivalence of when these firms charge you a small fee to be able to get access to a larger amount of capital. I love America. Capitalism is the way. Ooh, NQ, baby. Do me so right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You go, girl. You go. Ooh. Oh, damn. 50's coming. Oh, bruv. Just give it to me. Bruh.
Well, this used to be a widows and
Bruh.
orphans.
Come on. 950. I need 950. Be nice. Give me that. Give me that. Ugh. Guys, we might be done. We might be done by 10 o'clock if this keeps up like this. Come on, NQ. Just give me that. Gold is looking good right now. So you know what I'm gonna do? Scaling into gold longs. I am scaling into gold longs on the Forex side. Okay, so my entry on gold on the Forex side is 1827. And I'll leave room to add. Because from here, at best we could probably retest the lows, which I can add there. So I can add another several times. And the thing that I love about Forex firms is that I can swing this position, right? I don't have to close it out like I do with the funded firms on actual futures platforms.
I want you to get back to this point. Companies have said Procter & Gamble, for
Damn.
example, are not doing
403 minutes.
stocks are not doing particularly well. So where and why? The distance.
Some companies have. I'm saying is
I
this.
mean, it's not a cheap multiple.
No, it's not. But this is where you should be getting companies that have keep price versus not. But the group is trading altogether. So can I agree?
But like, Doc, that means you made $133 per minute.
These are well below where they were in 2019. Casting that they're going to start making a lot less money. Yeah, that's a quickly negative chart. Yeah. Jim.
Come
That's
on.
what they call me, partner.
Well, Jim, is there an opportunity here then? If you know, particularly if you
Come on, give me 950.
Yes.
the wild bunch is not going to have their way with the 10-year fund.
And what's interesting is we're having this nice move on NASDAQ, and Nvidia's the only one in the positive territory this morning. So what this means is, as soon as Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, AMD, Netflix, soon as the rest of the tech companies goes green on the day, NASDAQ is going to fly. And as I stated, we're still forming higher lows, so it's still a dip buy for me. And overall, when I take into account the overall movement and target on NASDAQ in the next coming few months is going to be 15,943 points in price. So that means from where we're currently at, we're looking at 1,032 points to the upside. So it could drop maybe 150, 200 points, but the risk to reward ratio far exceeds 1-to-1, right? I'll probably on a swing position, I'm probably going to risk maybe 300 points. So I'm risking 300 points to make 1,000. It's at least a 3-to-1 ratio. Over a 3-to-1, 3.5. Listen, we already made our bag. All we got to do now is either wait for the continuation or maybe another retest to re-enter long. Ooh, let's go. Here comes the Dow. You see gold? You see the spike on gold? You see the spike on gold? Damn, my timing is on point. Y'all see this? It's like, how does he do it? How is he watching all of these different charts at the same time? Multiple screens, people. Multiple screens. Let's go. You go, baby. You go. Do your thing. All right. I just moved my stop loss on gold to break even. Okay, so guys, when you ask me the TP, ask me, is it the Forex side or the future side, right? Because the numbers are going to be different. Right now on futures, you can see it's 1,844. On the Forex side, it's currently at 1,829. So on the Forex side, I'm looking for a movement up to 1,846. So 30-minute. Give me a second. I'll tell you what that is. I want to say it's probably gonna be like 1860. So let me see. Hold on. I'm looking. Okay. So all right. So I'm looking for a movement up to 1855, 1860. If any of you guys follow me on Instagram, I've been up since 2 in the morning trading. And at 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, I basically gave an analysis on ES. I gave an analysis on gold. And I was like, gold is starting to look like a potential long, like it's gonna get this work. ES, I caught a nice bounce on ES from 43.15 to 43.33.25. And then and now entered it again at 42.98.50, which we are just printing. Just entered gold. Gold's looking good. Let's go. Oh, thank you. I need to make slow and steady. That's how you do it, slow and steady. So gold on the forex side. So yeah, gold on the forex side right now. My target is 1846 even. 1846 even. Oh, let's go. And yes. Okay, Queen, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
I think you may actually lose your job because there's a lot of other people who can do your job, and there's also machines that can do your job. The thing that's intriguing about Jamie Dimon is why he doesn't say, "All right, I'm going to buy this week. I'm sorry, you're done," because I can get Chat GPT people from out of Fortnite who are better than you.
All right, I want to explain I get how you moved there. We talked about the headquarters building. You immediately thought about the fact that people still don't come into the office. Why are you building a new headquarters building? Then you thought about occupancy rates. Then you thought about the fact that companies are trying to get people to come back in. And will they actually start to take action against them?
Did I ever say
Let's see how the swing is looking.
You know where I'm going to go now to end this is Jamie Dimon's comments about AI. Let's talk about that. Because he did say recently that people are going to live to be 100. We're going to get rid of cancer.
What time do you start trading? It depends. For the most part, between 3 and 4 in the morning. But lately I've been having trouble sleeping past 2 a.m. Like I think I went to bed at like 12:20, and then I was up literally 2 hours later. Yeah, I don't know. I don't sleep much. I've gotten used to it. Like I used to run a business that I would literally be up 3 in the morning, driving 30 minutes away. And I would go to bed at like 11:30. So I can run on maybe 2-3 hours of sleep every day. It's not really good, especially because I'm very physically active. Meaning like I go to the gym 6 days a week. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna work on that. But for the most part, 3-4 in the morning, I'm up already trading, and then I'll start streaming at 9 a.m. For the most part, by 8 a.m., I'm pretty much usually done for my day. But I'll continue to trade because my commitment to streaming and being able to provide you guys with good analysis and good trades that you guys can take and essentially make some money.
Significant changes to labor markets.
I'm like, why is my chart looking so different?
Listen to him.
1 of 13.
Change that
There you
shot
go.
in the future.
we have a shortage
I don't know
of
how
people
your
who
body
are-
stays
That's
in the shape it
that's the real
does.
inflationary issue. We have a
Well, I mean, I catch about maybe like 5 hours of sleep. 5 hours of sleep on the weekend. Like I don't really go clubbing or anything like that. So, Fridays, Saturdays, I'll try to sleep like 5 or 6 hours. And then when I can, I'll try to take like a nap during the day, maybe like an hour or hour and a half of a nap, and then I'm good. which is probably why I got up early, because yesterday I took a nap from like 4 to 5:30, so I caught like an hour and a half nap. And I don't know, I've read some studies where like if you were to take like a nap somewhere from like 5 to midnight, anywhere within that time, for every hour you sleep, it's actually the equivalent of 2 hours. I don't know how true that is, but I'd be pretty energized. Yeah. Okay. Taking some partials off on US 30, aka Dow Jones.
Now, of course, that actually does need to get a vote, and we are told that that vote will occur around 2 p.m. this afternoon. That was just decided in a closed-door session where
Order
Republicans are
field.
meeting today. Behind me, it's the Democrats who are meeting, and they're going to be incredibly key for this vote as to whether or not they decide to back McCarthy. McCarthy does not have enough votes within his own conference to survive this kind of challenge, and so he's going to need help from Democrats.
Soon as there you go, there you go, there you go. Let's go, let's go.
Order filled.
Taking some partials on NQ. Let's freaking go, baby.
The question is that if McCarthy is ousted, what is that actually going to look like for Congress? David?
Thank you, Emily. Interesting listening to Speaker McCarthy this morning talking to the Squawk Box, the various options available.
All right, I'm taking some profits on ES at 43.13. Bruh, I'm a fucking savage, man. I don't. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We are almost at 14,950. On ES, let me see. 98. Over 12 points on ES longs. Guys. What is the difference between futures and forex? Are they the same? All right. Futures and forex, they're two different fields in the same industry. Okay, they're both in so everything from stocks, options, commodities, futures, bonds, treasuries, ETFs, those are all they're all under the financial umbrella. Okay, futures is because a lot of countries are trading when the US is closed. That's why we have futures, right? Because they're able to participate in those products. Forex is a divergence, or I'm not going to use divergence. That's not the word. There we go. 14,950 hit. Forex. So like when you're trading, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, ES, Hong Kong index, German index, you are trading, a version of the futures, indices. All right. They move the same. When the Dow Jones is moving up, like right now, NQ's moving up. Anyone that's trading either NAS, raw NAS, US 100, US 100 is just that firm's way of identifying NQ, which is NASDAQ. Okay. So the thing about Forex is that Forex has much more leniency when it comes to certain parameters than futures. Most futures firms based in the US, it's pretty damn expensive for you to trade futures. On Forex, it's actually cheaper. And let me show you something right now. So look it. Right now, I'm going to show you what's my margin to trade ES or NASDAQ. So right here, look it. Every one contract that I trade of ES will cost me 14,784. Okay. When I trade NQ on TD Ameritrade, every contract costs me $22,178. So when I take a 4 contract position, my cost, so meaning I have to have over $88,000 in the account, well, 89 to cover commission and stuff, to be able to sustain that position. All right. Now on the Forex side, there's the requirements, the monetary requirement is much lesser. Furthermore, okay, on the future side, we have expirations. Right here, you see this current contract, NQZ23, expires in 73 days. So in 73 days, when this expires and the next contract comes into play, and mind you, the next contract is going to be a gap up, right? On the Forex side, there's none of that because Forex, it's a CFD. So it's a version of it, and it doesn't expire. It's continuous, which is why right now, if you were to look at, let's say, US 100, which is NASDAQ on the Forex firm that I'm currently trading with, right now, price is 14,806, right? Meanwhile, current price is 14,959, right? So there's that difference in price. The candle formations are the same, right? So the same candle formation that I see right here on a 15-minute, 1 hour time frame is the same you're gonna see on the other firm as well. It's just the right hand side, the numbers are going to be different. Smash my target. Good God. Thanks, was a little nervous. You're welcome. All right, so NQ is going to continue. We're probably going to blow this top out. So let me look for a re-entry. I'm adding to Dow Jones long because Dow Jones is the one that's down the most in comparison to NASDAQ and ES. I think we're going to end up having a nice red to green move. So I'm scaling in this baby. Let's go. Bruh. 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 Just a minute, guys. Be right back. 2 minutes. yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. All right, bruh. All right. I know that definitely looking forward to that payout, huh? That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Beautiful. I don't know what's up. Is your gold position a long-term hold? Let's take a look. Oh, what a retracement. Hold on. What the hell just happened? Okay, let's take another long on ES. Oof. Okay, so some kind of economic data just came out. Nope. I'm gonna get stopped out on gold. Yeah, what the hell's the news? CNBC really acting up.
Down 0.5% on the S&P 500. NASDAQ down today, down 0.6. It's still positive on the week because it got a rally yesterday, but those gains are slipping. The only
Jobs data. Oh, yeah, that's
higher
true.
on the S&P, materials.
It'll go back up.
Industrials and staples were up there too.
So I just entered ES at 43,1075.
Is sweeping more sectors into the red, and the 10-year yield is above 4.7% this morning, near the highs going back to 2007.
150.
Here into the trading session. Here are three big movers we're watching. HB, Berkshire Hathaway revealing that they have pared the stake in the company down to 10%, but Bank of America says the stock has bottomed here, making a rare double upgrade of the name from sell to buy. This morning, it's up 3%. Eli Lilly signing a deal to buy cancer therapy maker Biopharma for $12.50
Oh, you go, Queen. That's what I'm. Okay, I see you.
Shares of the latter name surging on that news, and competitor Novartis will be on next hour. McCormick, one of the biggest laggards right now in the S&P post results, matching analyst estimates despite a 2% volume mix
Stopped out
decline.
of
Really
gold.
The thing that's upsetting investors there is the guidance raise was on the back of weaker or better performance from the Mexican JV, which is not a great reason to upgrade guidance, and some of the weakness in China and Asia in particular held back organic growth.
Good to know, because Jim and I were discussing that in the last hour as
It
well.
wasn't a terrible quarter.
No, well,
Some things to pick at there.
not getting a good reaction in the market. All right, let's get to new data on job openings out just moments ago. Rick Santelli's in the house, and he has that.
Yeah, I've been having an issue with TradeOvate. Like when I log on, it takes a minute for it to like actually upload the chart, which I don't get.
The best level going back to May when it was slightly higher at 9,600,000.
Yeah, I've been having that like since like yesterday.
Also putting a little extra horsepower. Last month's 8,827,000 now stands at 8,920,000. And of course, rates moving up towards the high zone. Remember, the roller coaster ride can be wild, but I always like when it stops. It's the close that matters most to technicians. And if any close above 470, many that have been trying to pick a temporary top will, of course, concede, and you might see some late session selling.
Probably, if it's taking long to load up, yeah, that it takes, yeah, it's taking like 5 minutes or so. Several times yesterday, like I thought my whole setup had like disappeared to where I had to like redo it, but it was just I had to give it some time to upload. That was paid
down.
me an
Why?
issue with
Because it
trade
speaks
over it
to
yesterday.
the
Everyone.
tightness of the
Yeah,
labor
so
market.
I know they sent the email out saying that like they were fixing the problem and stuff like that.
1.5. We're rising again, and look at the reaction. Yield higher. This is not
Mm.
helpful for the higher yield trade. 4.74%. This is going to increase the chances that the Fed has to go again in November.
Actually, the 2-year yield also pretty dramatic reaction on that number.
Very annoying, yeah.
14,
Is
so that's
that
more
when
the
you?
Fed side of things as opposed to the concerns about treasuries.
Yeah. So cause but also cause I was also having issues with my device. Like I don't know why I wasn't like I wasn't able to switch my desktop. So on my current setup, a click of my mouse and I can change different desktops. So within one monitor, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different desktops formed to where I have Thinkorswim and OBS and the chat on this one, and then the next one over I have MetaTrader 4. The one after that I have Tradeovate a Tradeovate account.
Yeah, but it's going to be
Order
tough
filled.
today.
Taking along on NQ right here
On the 10-year.
at 14,859.
It's not helpful. The Fed speak that we've gotten, and we've got a bunch of it just in the last 24 hours. Not
Let's
helpful.
go.
Barr, who is Governor Barr, he's the vice chair of supervision. He handles bank regulation at the Fed, but he also gets a vote at every policy meeting. Here's what he is saying about rates.
I think that, it is likely that we'll need to keep rates up for some time in order to be effective in bringing inflation down to 2%. I'm confident that we'll get there.
And then Nestor, who doesn't have a vote this time, but she's a Cleveland Fed president, but often kind of comes down around the center. I think that she sounds a little like Powell. Here's what she's saying about where rates need to go.
I suspect we may well need to raise the Fed funds rate once more this year and then hold it there for some time as we accumulate more information on economic developments and assess the effects of the tightening in financial conditions that has already occurred. Whether the Fed funds rate needs to go higher than its current level and for how long policy needs to remain restricted are really going to depend on how the economy evolves relative to the outlook.
They're still singing the same song, which is higher for longer. Maybe even higher, but definitely for longer. And that's not helping
Look at
when the
that.
bond market is going. I mean, this is really
We're 7th.
and the speed and the magnitude of the moves now are when you have people wondering if something breaks, right? Last time we saw a big run up in the 2-year, that's when we saw the regional bank crisis. The dollar is at the
As I
highest of the
had
year.
stated,
And if you look at
longer
some of these
for
emerging
higher
markets
for
currencies,
longer.
like just since July, I don't know if you've checked the Hungarian
No,
forint
well, I
lately,
usually do, Sarah. But I haven't been on
or the
forint
Chilean
lately.
peso. I mean, these currencies are down double digits,
Yeah.
like 10, 15% just in the past few months. And it's painful, and all of it leads to slower growth and potentially financial problems.
Well, you mentioned the banks. Let's not forget that was back in March when they were sitting on these unrealized losses, so to speak. And obviously, you don't need to realize them unless you have to sell. Where perhaps if you have deposits flowing out or any other reasons, but it hasn't gotten any better. In fact, it's gotten a lot worse for those bank balance sheets. It's got to in terms of some of the even long dated assets they have on there now getting hit as a result of owning them for some period, any period of time. Mike, you're underwater.
No, the marks are going to be tough for sure. Even things like, mortgage-backed security spreads are very wide. So it seems as if nothing is really showing you the way out in terms of the bank balance sheets. I mean, you haven't had anybody else say that this is actually it's crippling, and obviously, you're going to be able to manage it, but it certainly creates a little bit of restraint on credit creation. We know that for a while right now. And Sarah, I've been in your camp saying that, these yields are kind of searching for a place where it really does restrain the economy and really does hurt growth. But the economy so far is kind of working through it. I mean, obviously, it's all about
Everyone's
what
locked
happens
into low
next
mortgage
year.
Look at that, 4.752. I mean, Sarah, we talk so often here about, or you have certainly for the last few
Order
weeks,
filled.
the escalating federal budget deficit,
Adding to
supply
NQ.
demand. Mike mentioned it a few moments ago as well. Ed Yardeni, the guy who coined the term bond vigilante, he's not talking about the wild bunch, saying they seem to have taken full control of the treasury market, and we're watching to see if the high yield market is next. Then Goldman Sachs is out talking about federal interest expense becoming as much as 3% of GDP by 2024.
You have this elevated issuance. which is a problem, colliding with a Fed balance sheet that is shrinking and tightening. And actually, we're dropping below the 8 trillion mark on the balance sheet, which I know you watch very carefully. At the same time where the Fed is talking higher for longer, at the same time where there's not enough evidence that inflation is going to go back down fully to 2% and that the economy is not weakening into recession, and add it all up, and there's a balance sheet, and you have got these persistently higher yields. And I wanted to show this because David asked about it, but also because Mike always tells me it doesn't matter. And I think it matters a lot.
Yes.
And I think yields matter a lot, which
They
you have told me
100% do.
before are not the single, they are the singular.
Wait, what are you going to
factor
show
right
us?
now.
I've
This.
never said they
that's
don't.
the balance
the Fed
I've
balance.
never said they don't matter. I've said they're not the only thing that matters.
Right
They're
now,
not somehow this magical causal effect of everything else. So we're down $1 trillion. What's actually going on? When was the last time they bought a bond, right? So it's not as if they were out there in every auction, the Fed was actually soaking up the supply. It's much more about the supply side right now at the same time.
They're tied together.
Yeah, they're just allowing
tied
stuff to
together.
mature.
I don't know.
They're allowing
This
stuff
is-
to mature. Is what's going on.
You two are the biggest nerds I know. This is
But-
an interesting market, by the way.
It is.
This
There it
market
is.
just
Yeah.
got very
Be
interesting.
careful what you wish for, right?
Well, I guess, but it's, I mean,
We're pushing these
we're only up
extremes.
10% now on the S&P for the year.
Oh yeah.
10.7%.
No, I mean we're down
Not
in the
to
average
mention
stock.
this move in the 10
Yeah.
years. Fascinating.
No, it's testing every kind of premise for the idea that we were back in an uptrend. I mean, the yields back in the October lows, the 10-year yield was like 4.30. That was around the highs. And that was considered to be just way too much for the economy to handle all at once, stagflationary panic because we hadn't really seen inflation come down at all. Now it's a different situation where it's just kind of what's the new equilibrium between growth, inflation, and rates, and we're searching for it.
And
Order
can I add
filled.
something else? That in the brew, which is oil just turned
There
higher
we
again.
go.
You know, I couldn't hold on the losses, up about $90 a barrel. So you have higher
Good
oil,
reversal.
stronger dollar,
Good
and these sharply
reversal.
rising rates, and that's a bad.
That's falling down the list of
global
things to
growth.
worry
Good
about.
bounce, good
But it's
bounce.
really- but-
Prices are off the boil.
But it feeds into the
Yeah,
rate story
it
for
helps.
sure, and the inflation story. Let's find out what, well, he just likes to argue with me. Wall Street economists make of all the action in yields. Joining us is Wells Fargo's Sarah House. I mean, we are looking at these yields making new cycle highs as we speak. Got a surprisingly strong job openings report. How much higher can yields go?
Well, I think what we're seeing is this reaction to the economy not just hanging in there stronger, and that's affecting expectations for what the Fed does. But I think a lot of the
There
supply
you go.
considerations
Get it, baby.
that you were just
Fake out.
discussing. So everything from the current position of the deficit, but also QT ongoing. And so I think, you know, it remains to be seen just how high, but I think a lot of it's going to be affected by also what the Fed path does from here. And what the latest economic data suggests is that certainly higher for longer. And I think it really keeps the potential for perhaps one more rate hike this year on the table.
So beyond that, Federal Reserve's talking about higher for longer. It'll rest right on the economic data
Order
and the
filled.
inflation data. So where does that go? Does the tightening of financial conditions that we are witnessing now in terms of rates and the dollar
Adding one
and
more
everything else
long
do the
to
work for the Fed
NASDAQ.
so that they can get on to cutting faster?
FYI, right now I'm
I think it
trading
certainly does
the
help. So this
I'm
is
trading the
something that we
micros
hadn't seen throughout this entire tightening
just
cycle.
because we're gonna have a lot of back and forth.
Rates, but we would actually see financial conditions ease during periods. And so I think there was this idea that, well, if financial conditions ease, the Fed can either just keep at it, keep rates elevated for longer until you see that pass through, and that is what we're seeing. And so I think, yes, to some
Yeah, yo,
extent,
Trader
this
is
does
really
affect
acting up right now.
for it. So that's by design. The Fed's interest rates work through those financial channels. And when we look at, I think, the tightening we've seen in financial conditions, that suggests that we haven't seen the worst of the slowdown in growth. And while prospects, I think, have improved over the past few months for a soft landing, the debate is far from settled with these real rates, I think, likely
Yeah,
to further
and
dampen growth.
this is probably due to the high volatility that we're having right now. Like, there's a lot of buying and selling happening right now.
It's been pointing that way for a very long time. Growth has continued to surprise to the upside. Where do you actually think we're going to have that final point where things become too much, frankly, for the economy? And is the Fed really looking for that? Because they have said that they're obviously looking to be restrictive in their policy. At the same time, they upgraded their growth estimate for next year. It's still below 2% real.
Yeah, so I think a real test here is going to come in the fourth quarter where you do have accumulating headwinds. So not only do you have the ongoing headwinds from tighter monetary policy that is increasingly restrictive in real terms, but you have this increasing effect of the fading fiscal support. So everything from that continued wind down in excess savings, the restart of student loans, the child care cliff. And so I think you are going to see consumers increasingly squeezed with perhaps a bit of a jump in that dynamic here in the fourth quarter. But I think it's really the slow squeeze that we're looking for, where we think things continue to moderate as we move through the first part of next year.
Sarah, thank you. Appreciate it. Sarah House of Wells Fargo. One more point, David, on the fiscal thing, which you brought up.
Yes.
You know, I think the big change this time, and a lot of people are talking about this, is that fiscal and monetary policy are working against each other when it comes to fighting inflation. Monetary policy is trying to fight inflation and bring it down. Fiscal has been doing the opposite. And that is a very different dynamic than we've been dealing with, where we used to embrace fiscal policy. It helped growth. Well, now the market is kind of booing it because it's hurting and tightening financial conditions and making it harder for the Fed.
Right.
Tightening on that side of
Conceivably
things.
causing inflation.
And that is
result
the big
of all the
difference.
spending. By the way, also widening our deficits, which is then also
Correct.
resulting in the other thing that we talked about a lot.
Which is
the
why
huge
maybe
supply
it used to not be a problem, because we embraced the deficits and the growth and the spending.
What
Maybe
a
that was the
drop
weird time.
indeed.
And now
Whew.
it's problematic to have that kind of rising deficit and extra spending at a time where the Fed is going on an inflation fight.
Right. It does make
Yeah.
you wonder whether this chorus asking, arguing for more austerity is going to actually start to.
Well, what's interesting is it was almost unintended fiscal stimulus. It was the cost of living adjustments. It was lower revenues because you didn't have the capital gains from last year. It wasn't like, obviously, at the Inflation Reduction Act and all that stuff, which we knew, but it's over and above that. That's what we're seeing
It is.
right now.
And it's hard to cut defense too,
Right.
which is like
Yeah.
half of the discretionary.
Yes.
Tricky problems, interesting market. The 10-year yield above 4.74% right now. The 2-year note yield above 5.1. As we head to break, our roadmap for the rest of the hour. The soaring yields are looking enticing for investors, but it is not all risk-free, as we've been just talking about. What you should know before jumping in.
Plus, here's a sad story. Manhattan
Somebody
is
has
running out of
made a
luxury
shit ton
apartments.
on this
I'll tell
drop.
you why, what it
Absolutely.
means for that
Just
market.
got here.
And we continue our Q4
Bruh,
playbook
you're
series
late,
today.
man.
What's ahead for 10
You are
years of the year
super
end?
late.
Great show.
We done already caught longs on ES, NASDAQ, Dow. Some are in shorts right now. Caught a nice quick scalp on gold. Shit, ES already down 40 something points on a day. Whew. I can't get trader rate loaded up. Damn, that's rough, bro. Yeah, if even right now, look at my Thinker Swim, it's really lagging. So yeah, I mean, honestly, it's probably gonna be best to just avoid. Wait till things come down and there's not that much buying and selling. Oh shit. There we go. Yes, you should call it a day. Do not overtrade, Queen. Call it a day. Don't push the envelope.
BostonWill.com.
One-time crypto king Sam Bankman-Fried on trial today for fraud and conspiracy charges. Let's get to Kate Rooney with the latest from
Order filled.
Kate.
Jury selection just got underway in the Sam Bankman-Fried trial here in Lower Manhattan, not far from where you guys are, the stock exchange. Over 6 weeks, guys, the jury's going to decide whether this was, as prosecutors allege, one of the biggest financial frauds in U.S. history. Sam Bankman-Fried has pleaded not guilty to 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy over the collapse of what was once his $32 billion crypto exchange, FTX. The list of juror questions out this morning includes things like, have you heard about Sam Bankman-Fried? Have you posted about this trial on social media? Do you have any negative opinions about cryptocurrency? And if a company fails, do you feel that only the owners are to blame here? And then they also talk about any negative opinions about amassing wealth to give it to charity, effective altruism, which is something Sam Bankman-Fried was involved in. It also talks about him having ADHD. They plan to ask people to raise their hand if they've never had any personal or professional experience with ADHD. They say that might affect Sam Bankman-Fried's body language and things like eye contact.
Order filled.
Jurors, if they have opinions about the defendant having ADHD. Bankman-Fried has been in custody, guys, since August. He has argued that he didn't know about the financial issues at FTX, and prosecutors need to prove intent here on the side of Bankman-Fried. 4 of his top lieutenants, though, have pleaded guilty, which legal experts tell me that this is going to make this case especially challenging for Bankman-Fried. At least 3 of those executives do plan to testify against him. Back to you.
Kate, thank you. Meantime, investors looking to take advantage of high yields and risk-free treasuries are actually facing risks, whether they buy bills or long-term notes. Steve Leisman joins us with those details. Steve, the risks are on display every day here as bond prices crash, right?
Yeah, you only have to look at the
Order filled.
I guess it's more now. Those declining bond indices just the past several weeks to appreciate the risk in the risk-free treasury market. When interest rates move the wrong way,
Come on.
those losses
Let me get this reversal.
We talked
So I'm
about
still
things
adding
like
longs on NQ with the micros.
CIO Dan Iverson tells me his risk will start with the idea inflation is still a material risk. High levels of debt are still a problem. It could be, and some investors are demanding default or downgrade premiums. The economy, well, it's been strong, and you saw this move this morning with the JOLTS report that could push up, as it did, interest rates further. Now, Iverson is still recommending investors look to extend somewhat the average duration in their bond portfolio. Don't just buy on the short end, he says. He's taken the duration of the PIMCO income fund up to 4.7 years, still low, but the highest since 2014. All of that points up a risk that many sitting in cash in those short-term bills may not have thought about. It's called rollover risk. The juicy money market yields, they can disappear very quickly if the Fed starts to cut. John Croak, head of Vanguard's active fixed income product, tells me the conversation we're having the most is about those individuals who have rushed into money markets chasing the attractive yields and have the strategy to hang out there until they see the Fed being done. In other words, staying short or in cash is like saying you could time the market, a risky proposition in and of itself. Crook says, you can make some of those choices now about your duration. There could be further losses, but only if you sell. The biggest risk, he says, is from investors who abandon the long-term strategy because of short-run fears, and you realize those losses, guys, instead of riding them out. Mike?
Yeah, Steve, it's a huge debate right now as to whether it's a gift to be able to lock in at the long end or not. We'll see how it plays out. I appreciate it.
I think one of the things, Mike, is that people are making a choice. It's a call to be in cash. It's not a neutral, benign decision. It's a decision that you make.
Absolutely, yeah. No, over that 10-year period, you have no idea where the overpay rate is going to be, and maybe the market does. We'll see. As we head to a break, check out the biggest gainers on the S&P this morning on a day when the S&P itself was down 1%. You see Boeing up a couple percent, Brown-Forman, HP getting an upgrade, CDW, and Q&A. So up and straight back.
Yes, I am trading the current contract on NQ, which is NQZ23. You're welcome. Where's that reversal, baby?
Order filled.
Let's go. Come on, give it to me. Reversal time. Just before the London close.
All right, we've got a little less than an hour into the trading day so far, and the S&P's down over 1%. We've talked, Bob, about the 10-year. Of course, the Bob I refer to is this man. Am I right, Bob Pisani? What do you make of all this?
We were doing fine. We were on the verge of going positive, and then the JOLTS report came out, and that cost us 30 points. And you see, immediately, yields move up, and we're completely capped at the yields. Just look at the sectors here. Modest moves up earlier on in consumer staples, industrials, that's now gone negative. New lows, of course, on REITs. We talked about this yesterday. Utilities, new lows as well here. We're basically in a runaway rate shock situation. That's what's going on here. So there's two problems. Number one is the classic yield plays. The REITs and utilities can't compete with 4.7% treasuries, so people are selling them. There's a secondary problem, the knock-on effects. This is increasing the cost to fund projects everywhere. And if you think about it, think about capital-intensive industries that are out there. Two examples I've been using recently are clean power and biotech. Utilities as well. They got to build plants, so there's a secondary effect here. But let me just show you, for example, NextEra Energy. This is the big renewable energy company. They talked about revising down their growth expectations because of higher borrowing costs. We saw this with other clean energy plays. Ørsted, big company in Denmark, they had to revise down their estimates due to higher borrowing costs, and they do big offshore wind projects. That's been a real problem. Look at biotech. You might think, why would biotech be affected by higher interest rates? But this is very capital-intensive industry. This is a new low for the biotech ETF. On top of that, most of these biotechs are small-cap companies. This increases the risk to banks lending to them because they're small-cap. So you have a double whammy. You have higher borrowing costs, and you have the fact that you're a small-cap that are really putting pressure on it. We were talking variously a little while ago about the higher yields. There's only about 60 companies in the S&P that can compete with these kinds of yields.
Do a
Maybe we're
rundown
talking
of
about 5,
trades
8.4%.
done today.
Until Jim pointed it out to me.
Trades that we've taken today have been NASDAQ longs, ES longs, Dow Jones long, and gold long.
Those kinds of stocks, the Verizons and AT&T, they'll be doing 4%, sometimes 5%, 8%. Oh, Simon Property and the REIT Crown Castle is a famous REIT there. Those are normally also in the 4 to 5% range. So these are
Thank you,
way
Doc. I
outside
appreciate that.
normal ranges. One thing that's also been happening is banks have been moving down. Look at the yields on some of the big super regional banks. We're near 8% at KeyCorp. Give you some idea, folks. Normally, these are 3% yields that you typically see. So this is really way outside the range of people who are out there. So these are very juicy yields if you could stand the risks, Sarah. And by the way, new low list is expanding. Here's one interesting one. Bank of America just hit a 52-week low today. Now, that's the first large bank that I'm seeing at a new low here, but you want to keep an eye on
That
something
one in
like that.
particular because of the size of its treasury portfolio and the assets where they're dated.
Yeah.
That's been a concern. That's why it's down 20% for the year, much more so than any of the other big.
Cash on hand going to be very interesting as part of the portfolio balance sheet these days? Because obviously you've got that cash sitting there. You can reinvest that in treasuries. I'm wondering if this is a potential issue for some of these companies that might have large amounts of cash on hand. I think we should look into that a little bit.
All right, Bob, thank you. We know you will. Still ahead, it was a tough September for technology.
Order filled.
Apple now more than 12% off the highs of the year. Nvidia down 10% from recent highs. What's ahead for the Magnificent Seven and the rest of tech into year end? We will discuss it as the losses pick up here. Dow's down about 300 points.
Thank you for the push, man. Your chat room has changed so much about. Awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, Queen. Now be sure, do not overtrade, all right? Call it a day. Go do something. You're up 2,500 on the day. I'm definitely gonna jump off at 11. Call it a day. Some nice action today. No need to be on any longer.
Order filled.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. There we go. I'm building confidence for the future. I'm not trading again. Awesome. I'm up 500 and called it a day. Thank you so much. Nice short on SPR if anyone took it. Yeah, buddy.
Welcome back to Squawk on the Street. I'm Bertha Coombs with your CNBC News update at this hour. The man accused of abducting a 9-year-old girl from a New York campground was arraigned overnight on first-degree kidnapping charges and ordered to remain in jail without bail. Authorities say they tracked down the girl Monday night to the man's trailer and found Charlotte Senna in his cupboard. They found Craig Nelson Jr. fingerprints left on a ransom note he put in the family's mailbox that morning. Police in Thailand have arrested a 14-year-old who they
There we
say
go.
opened
Let's
fire
go.
on
Here
Windsor
comes the
Mall in Bangkok,
reversal.
killing at least one person.
I'll
and
see you
injuring at
tomorrow.
least
All right,
7
buddy.
others. Police say Roy
Please
has been
explain why,
pressured into
bruh.
not yet
Nah,
clear.
listen.
And
You
India has
if you
reportedly
want to
told Canada
see
to move
if you want to see the long
62
why we took the
diplomats from
longs,
that country. Comes as
rewatch the YouTube video, or show up at 9 a.m. bro.
On Canadian soil. According to the Associated Press, India gave Canada 1 week to repatriate the diplomats. Over to you.
Bertha, thank you. Turning now to tech, the NASDAQ coming off its worst quarterly performance since the second quarter of last year. Tech was the second worst.
Because right now I'm taking care of a few things, and for me to go over all the reasons why we took the long, why I called out the longs that I did, you gotta show up. The videos, every day that I stream, those videos are automatically uploaded onto YouTube. So you go to my YouTube channel, you click on the live section, everything is recorded. So you can once I end the stream at 11, you can go back, you can watch it, and you can see why the longs were called out, the entries, and then go from there. But if you want to know what the trades is going to be for the day, show up on time, bro. Your YouTube videos are awesome. Thank you. Right now, one of the reasons why I'm scaling in on the micros is because I know a reversal is going to come. The market again is super oversold. We're still technically in this uptrend temporarily. So, and also I'm looking for price to reach and head towards 15,900. So any massive sell-off, I'm not interested in participating in that, because the upside is much more there's a much bigger upside movement than there is to the downside. I'm in MES longs. Awesome. There you go. Yeah, we should for the day. We might by the end of the day we might actually get back to like maybe only 10 points down on the day, so we could see ES head back up to 43.10. So let's see. Euro and GBP are starting to turn around. This is a good sign. Let's go.
This morning out of the Wall Street Journal that Netflix may be considering some price increases out there too. The stock has been
500.
down day. Is that a key part of the story? It has been a theme for a while.
I think it is, Mike. I think it's a key part of the story. I love the way the management team has phrased this. They talk about widening their price points. It's just a wonderful way to describe what really is a price increase. They talk about this publicly, so I don't find it that terribly surprising. The question is when strike did push that to put a price increase during a strike, and they're not going to put a price increase until the content slate gets more robust. There may be some holes here, as the same for all streamers, because the strikes. My guess is that a price increase is coming on the high end price points, but it's in the back half of next year.
All right, Mark. I appreciate the time this morning. Got to leave it there for now.
Well, after the break, longtime M&A veteran Rob Kindler. Go ahead.
Wow, Japanese yen. All right, I'm back. Rev. This is just woo, nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me. I'll probably check the charts again at 2 p.m., 2:30. See if can catch a nice little reversal. Yeah, we're done for the day. Let me see any questions. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, you don't need to hear myself speaking. Huh?
The activist side of it, they see companies where they really think the expenses can be cut or parts of it can be spun off.
But you can't stand those activists. You hate activists.
Oh, some of my best friends are activists. No, actually, David, I've said this before with you, is that activism generally has been good.
Oh, that's dope.
It's really forced
Let's see. Any questions? Awesome. Be careful, gang. Not sure. The reversal is coming. It might not be till after the London close. So I'm good for now. About to stop out. Yeah, I would say probably look for it later in the day. Right now for the London session, probably gonna we got like about 12 minutes left before London closes, so we may see the reversal after. But what you're gonna want to see is like on a 15 or even a 5-minute time frame. You're gonna want to see a previous lower high be broken, and then the retest is going to offer a good entry long. We need a big push to upside. Yeah, it's going to be a bit.
Rob Kentler from Paul Weiss.
Learned everybody's ages. Thank you, David. It's a good favor. Spinning off its serial business, as Rob was talking about, now trading as KLG on the New York Stock Exchange. Shares are falling in their day.
I'm good, bro. I'm chilling. Nice profitable early morning. Nice trades again this morning. Caught this long on NQ. Target was 14,950, which was smashed. Didn't catch the short, but it's all good. All right. Yeah, so I'm just gonna jump off, guys. I don't wanna. I mean, I have the discipline to stand here and watch the chart and not trade it, but I need to go get some breakfast. Like, I haven't really eaten much. So I'm gonna go and do that, and then I'll look to see how things are looking at 2:30 2:30 in the afternoon, and see if it might be worth taking a trade or not. Yeah. So with that being said, thank you everyone for joining. It was a pleasure. If you banked, made some money, awesome, keep it. If you got the social media, man, I'm telling you, man, tag Rig24 or Rigonometry Trading. All right, even though I know that there are some scam artists out there, okay, pretending to be me. All right, so let me make sure I give you guys the proper IG. So it's on IG. This is the IG, and then my personal is Rig24. I think NQ might be coming down all the way down here. Yep. Yeah, I think NQ is gonna come all the way down here. Higher for longer, higher for longer. All right, guys, have a good one. See you guys tomorrow. Stay green.